Old Earth versus young Earth, does it really matter?
In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth.
By the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing, so on the seventh day he rested from all his work.
Nevertheless, do not let this one fact escape your notice, beloved, that with the Lord 1 day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like 1 day.
Many scientists believe that the Earth is millions to billions of years old. Then there are some Christian scientists that believe that currently the Earth is much, much younger, approximately 6,000 years old. Which is correct? I lean toward the young Earth theory, and I'll tell you why. Since I believe everything in the Bible is true, I use the genealogy timelines written in Scripture as my basis. And when I add all of those up, it more closely aligns with young Earth beliefs. Science can be used at times to validate Scripture, but in some areas scientific assumptions are made. I choose to base my understanding on truth, Scripture, rather than assumptions. If young Earth is true, which I believe, this can be used to prove, along with supporting Scripture, that we are in the end times. The reason that it is important is because we can look at this and know that the rapture is near and Jesus' second coming is also approaching. Okay, it appears as if the world history time frame is mirroring God's creation time frame. So let me explain. As written in Genesis, we know that God created everything in 6 days and rested on the seventh day. So, if we look at the days of creation in light of what is written in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8, 1,000 years as 1 day, then the 6 days of creation would be equivalent to 6,000 years of world history. I did the following search in Google. Do many Christian scientists believe that the time from creation to Jesus is approximately 4,000 years? And came up with this answer. Yes, many creation scientists believe the time from Adam, creation, to Jesus is approximately 4,000 years. By adding up the genealogies and lifespans recorded in the Bible, such as Genesis 5 and 11, they calculate the span between Adam and the birth of Christ to be roughly 4,000 years. When combined with the historical 2,000 years since Jesus, this results in a total age of about 6,000 years for the Earth and the universe. Prominent organizations that promote this young Earth view include Answers in Genesis and the Institute for Creation Research. Here are some other sources that concur with this 4,000-year time frame. I did the search from creation to Jesus instead of from creation to the present time because it is generally accepted that it has been approximately 2,000 years since the time of Jesus. The harder question is determining the time between creation and Jesus' time. To correlate the world history time frame, 6,000 years according to the previous Google search, with the creation time frame, we are in the 6th day, right before the day of rest. There is another 1,000-year time frame prophesied in the future, the 1,000-year reign of Christ on the earth. I believe that this is the day of rest. So now we come to it, the meaning of all of this. We can now connect the dots to determine that we are indeed prophetically in the last days. Google search. What year was Jesus crucified? Most biblical scholars and historians conclude that Jesus was crucified in the spring, with the consensus split between AD 30 and AD 33. Between these two, AD 33 is the most traditionally accepted date, specifically believed by many to be Friday, April 3, AD 33. Something interesting to consider. According to the generally accepted consensus among Christians that Jesus was crucified AD 33, we also know that he resurrected 3 days later and afterwards ascended into heaven, all probably in the same year. So, in 2033, it will be exactly 2,000 years since the Lord left the earth. What if Jesus returns to the earth then to begin the seventh day, the day of rest, his 1,000-year millennial reign? And we know that before his second coming, another event will take place 7 years before, the rapture. So if Jesus has determined to return to the earth exactly 2,000 years since he left, that would be 2033. Now we come to the point of all of this. As mentioned in a previous paragraph, if Jesus were to return in 2033, could we be living in the year of the rapture, 2026? Jesus said we would not know the exact day nor hour, but he did give us the signs to be looking for so we could know the time is drawing near. If we know that this scenario could be likely, how should we be affected as Christians? What should we do to be ready? I believe some good advice can be found in Matthew 25 as Jesus speaks about the wise and foolish virgins. The 5 wise virgins who were ready went in with the bridegroom to the wedding feast, but the 5 foolish virgins who were not prepared were left outside and not permitted to attend the wedding feast. I believe that this parable could be referring to the rapture. So, if we want to escape the terrible events that will be occurring during the 7-year tribulation period, we must also be ready as the wise virgins were.